How's it going, guys? So today I'm going to review The Spectacular now. It's a rare review because I actually got to see this movie almost two and a half months ago at this small film festival in Ann Arbor. And a lot of the time with these reviews, even myself included, we throw them up almost the same day we see them or the next day, and at most we sit on them for 3 or 4 days. But we try to get them out there because you want to get your instant reaction out there and not let it die down or forget anything you might miss. And with this movie, I feel like I've had 2.5 months to sit on it and see if the initial reaction was just that initial one or if it's held up over time. And with this movie, I was initially disappointed to it where it was just really good and I wanted it to be amazing. But with time and thought and just thinking about it, it only improves. And I really am curious to see what a rewatch of this movie does for me. But it follows this guy named Sutter, and he's kind of like the popular class clown who ends up being he ends up being a joke, because when life kind of begins for everybody, he's still stuck in this high school world where he wants to goof around and just live in the now. And everyone else is looking towards the future. And he ends up being drunk one night and crashes on the front lawn of this girl named Amy's house, who's kind of like this class nerd, I guess you could say. This movie does a good job of not really narrowing down. It's not like it's this cliche, everyone goes, look at that nerd. She's just a normal girl who kind of breezed through high school without ever making much attention of herself. And through this, him crashing on her lawn, it allows him to actually meet this girl and talk to her on a level he may have never done at school or at a party, because she's not that type of girl. But through doing her little paper route with her, he kind of takes an interest to her and kind of wants to help her out because he feels bad for her. And it's more of a thing where he also feels bad for himself because he feels down about himself. So by helping her, maybe he'll help himself. And this movie does a really good job of creating an authentic relationship between these two characters, because I mean, we've seen this story 100 times where some kind of semi-popular dude hooks up with the nerdy girl or whatever, or the unpopular chick, and ends up falling in love with her. And this movie doesn't necessarily play to that T. I mean, it follows that kind of path, but there's a lot of forces that kind of prevent them from fully going into that plot point, and that's something that the trailer really does not show in the movie. I mean, he's really addicted, or not addicted, but he's an alcoholic who basically can't go a day with, not even a day, a couple hours without a drink, and it kind of affects him and his relationship with people, and it kind of flows with that class clown, kind of a joke, doesn't take life serious type of character that he has established himself as. And this movie, like I said, does a very good authentic job of creating that relationship, and it's actually this slow process where it actually feels like you're watching them slowly turn into a couple without ever actually seeing them like... It's a strange case because she falls in love with him, but he doesn't realize he fell in love with her himself. I mean, it's clear that he did, but he tries to deny it in himself, and that's probably because of past relationships he's had in the movie with both his ex-girlfriend and his father, and even his mother, really. He can't really connect with anybody. And he's kind of afraid because he feels like they're going to leave him. And that's why he doesn't ever look towards the future, because he's really never planned to have a future. And what this movie does is it allows the character of Amy to bring that side of him out and actually want to become a better person, while at the same time he's helping her actually live a life and get out a little and not be kind of forgotten. I wouldn't say she would mind being forgotten, but she hasn't lived a memorable, I guess you could say, life. I mean, she just kind of scooted by, and she's not actually living. And that's what this movie is about. It's about this relationship between these two characters and how it transforms them. And it's a really, really good high school coming of age movie. I mean, it's probably one of the best because the way they handle the dialogue and their interactions between the characters is so realistic, and it doesn't have that standard cliche ending. I mean, it dares to do something different, and whether you like it or not, you still have to understand what it was going through or going for and appreciate the effort that they made with that, because it is so against type, and it may not be the ending that you want to see, but it's the more realistic ending that you would probably get in a real circumstance of this situation. And like I said, Miles Teller as Sutter is really freaking good, and Shailene Woodley as Amy is even better. She played this innocent girl who falls head over heels for the first guy that's shown her attention that she so well deserves, and they just both do a fantastic job. This movie got a lot of hype out of Sundance, and for the most part it lived up to it, and it's a movie I think anybody will enjoy, especially big fans of coming of age teenage romance movies. There's not a lot of good ones out there, especially recently, but this is a nice addition to the genre. I'm going to give Spectacular Now an 8.5 out of 10, but I hope on Friday when I get a chance to rewatch it that it only improves its score. So if I do improve the score, I will update it in the bottom this Friday after I see it. So if in the comments below, tell me what you think of your anticipation for this movie, and what are some of your favorite coming of age dramas, because this one, while it may not make the top 5, it's probably in the top 10, I'm not sure. If you like my review, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and until the next one, guys, I will see you later.